look at the numbers are still going up. But I wonder how people feel.
Feels like it's getting worse.
Great.
Unbelievable. Joining me now is retired NYPD Detective Harry Hawk. Sir, thanks so much for joining the program. This is crazy.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, people can't wear jewelry. You get attacked in the subway. And by the way, we did this MOS in New York, but a lot of these people came from other liberal cities. It's happening all across the country, and it doesn't seem like our leaders are doing anything to solve the problem.
Well, it seems like every time you turn around, the crime is going through the roof in a Democrat-run city or a state. We've got a mayor in New York City who can only do so much. I mean, you can tell the police officers to go out there, make the arrest, take the guns off the street, but what happens is the district attorneys and the judges are letting them go. There's no bail. So in other words, it's like it's a thug-free city out there. It's insane. You got a police officer who chases a gunman, down the street and luckily will make a collar, all right, and put that person in jail for the night and they're released. So that officer's commitment to chasing that person down does not match the sentence that person gets when they're caught by the police officers. So it's just purely insane. And cops.
So here, let's talk about that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother, but that seems to be the problem. Our leaders, our mayors, because of the politics and the makeup of these cities, they say, okay, look, we're going to finally empower the police. But they understand that you got these progressive DAs that are going to let them back on the street, but they won't call out the DAs. They say it's a broken system, but they won't indict the people that are breaking the system. So why aren't the leaders calling them out?
The only thing I can think of is they want this. That's the only thing. Listen, basic is a common sense approach to stop the crime in New York. We have done it before, and it looks like to me what the Democrats want is the 80s and the 90s all over again. And I'm going to tell you, if it keeps on going this way, if those state legislatures don't change things and the courts don't change, we're going to see that all over again here in New York. And what does the mayor do? The mayor appoints a gun czar. What the heck is that? A gun czar is going to do absolutely nothing to reduce the crime in New York City.
Crime is still up. I mean, it's based on the numbers. Here, you're completely right on this. He's been able to take a lot of guns off the street, but criminals are still committing the violent offenses. I got to ask you this. Are you hopeful? Because you just had in San Francisco Budin that was recalled. Do you see that happening all across the country? Do you think the citizens are going to rise up and say, enough is enough, even the liberals?
I'm hoping, that happened in New York when Giuliani became the mayor there, because even the liberals were tired of the crime. I was a cop in the 80s and 90s, and New York City was a combat zone. But you know what? I don't have any hope for New York City. It doesn't look like they're going the right way. They're seeing this crime rise to astronomical numbers again, and they're sitting by and they're doing nothing. And people are moving out of New York in droves.
Sure. The problem is a lot of people can't afford to move out. And they are trapped in this circle of violence. It's just not fair to them. Harry, thank you so much for joining the program, coming up on Cross Country. It's happening so often.